Hello, girls, and welcome back to the class. How are you?
Good, miss.
Okay, my
Hi,
girl.
miss.
Hi. In the second part of our class today, we are going to learn about conventions, and our lesson of today is modifiers. What does it mean modifiers, and what is they work? What we know in English right now, that each part of a speech in English has a meaning, has a meaning and a role that is especially for that thing. For example, if we talk about verbs, we know that the verbs are the words that give the action inside the sentence. And we know, for example, that nouns are the words that give a name for everything around us. And we know that adjectives are words to describe the things around me, shape, color, or size, or anything. And then we have something else, it's called modifier. Modifier also in English has a job. What is the job of this modifier and what does it mean modifier? Let's go ahead together to watch this thing. So what does it mean modifier? Modifiers means what? They are words or phrases or clauses that provide description in a sentence. And it allows the writer to take a picture that they have in their heads and transfer it to accurately to the heads of their students. What does that mean? Watch this sentence with me. If I say, for example, I went to the school. Okay, what is the special thing about this sentence? Nothing. Yes, it has a subject, it has a verb, it has a prepositional phrase at the end, and it's a complete thought. But in the same time, if you imagine that you want to write a story or let's say a book, and if you are using sentences like this, then nobody will read the book. Why? Because there's no description, there's no information. It's boring. For the reader, it's boring, so no readers. There will be no readers to read your story. Why? Because there's no information, no details, no description, so nobody obviously will like it. And it's so rigid. يعني the sentence is there and there's nothing else. But if I take the same sentence and imagine, if I write it in this way, if I said, I went to the school without my shoes. Okay? So imagine it's the same sentence, but I added a little phrase right here at the end. I put, I went to the school. How? I went to the school without my shoes. So what comes to your head immediately? How the shape of that person would be? Would it be embarrassing or nice? Huh?
No, it will be embarrassing.
Embarrassing,
Yeah.
of course. And what about his colleagues and his mates and teachers? Would they? What is the feeling that they will feel when they see him without shoes?
They will feel that he is crazy and funny. Yeah.
Maybe lazy, or maybe they will laugh at him because he forgot his
Yeah.
shoes, right? So what is
Yeah.
the picture came to your head immediately? The picture that came in your head, the shape of the boy and how he will be embarrassed and how the people around him laugh at him and stare at him and point at him. All of this draw a picture with only 3 words. Imagine I put only small sentence right here, but this sentence draw a big picture in your head. This small sentence that I add right here, I call it in English modifier. So what does it mean modifier? There are words or phrases or a clause. What does it mean phrase or clause? يعني small sentences. Small sentences. They are phrases or clauses or words that give you more information to give the vision, to make the vision clearer in your head. Clearer vision. So the modifier gives you a description that will give you a vision in your head and will make the things clear in your mind. And then you will feel that you have a picture in your mind with only few words. Okay? This is why we call it modifier. Modifier means يعني clearer. The things are clearer. طيب, let's go next and see how to make a modifier word and how to make it a phrase and how to make it a clause. First, if I say that the modifier could be a word, like what? Like, for example, this boy. See this picture? The boy is wearing like a Superman and he goes to the class. But I want to describe specifically about this boy. Maybe he went to the class and all the class is wearing Superman. So what is the benefit of saying Ken is a class hero? Maybe the whole class, they are wearing Superman. But no, I said cool and intelligent Ken is the class hero. Here I put words to describe the type of this boy. This boy is not only any boy. No, he is cool and he is intelligent. So this two words, it gives you a description about Ken, and maybe the idea comes to your mind why you said cool and intelligent. Maybe he is intelligent because he is the one who made this outfit by himself. Maybe he didn't buy it. So that's why he is intelligent. And maybe cool because maybe Aslan the teacher didn't tell them to wear Superman, but because he loved it so much and he want to appear uh, as a famous and still distinguished person, he make it by himself. So he is cool. Okay? So when I give you this description about Ken, you would know that this is the only boy maybe in the class that is cool and intelligent like this, because he's the only one who thought about this. But if I say without this one, imagine that I don't have this one, and I said only Ken is a class hero, is the class hero. Maybe it will come to your mind that maybe the teacher told them that today you have to wear the hero outfit, and maybe the whole class, they are wearing the same outfit. There is nothing about it. But when I said cool and intelligent Ken is the class hero, which means that maybe this boy has something different than the others. Maybe he's the one who made this outfit. So that's why I call it modifier. And this is how we make modifier as a word. It's usually as adjective. If I put description for it, then it would be called modifier as adjective. طيب, and then we have maybe modifiers as a phrase. A phrase which means a little sentence. I put it in the middle. Like, for example, the moment Michael saw the ghost, the hair on his hand stood up. Now, when I come here to tell you where is the modifier, you would say the modifier is on his hands. Why? Because I could say, the moment Michael saw the ghost, the hair stood up. I could say it like this, okay? The hair stood up. But then, all of us, we have hair from our head to toe. It could be the hair that stood up. It could be my hair on my head, my hair in my toe, my hair in my hands, my eyelashes. It has a lot of hair. So, and then it will not describe the image of fear. Maybe it will draw the picture of what? When the hair stood up, sometimes when you have electricity shock, right? So when I say the hair stood up, maybe I will think about this boy like his hair stood up and he's like electrical shocked. But when I say that the hair on his hands stood up, why I put this one? Because usually when we get fear or scared, usually the hair that stand up is the hair on our hands. So when you put this phrase right here, it gives you an image of that person that he must be so scared that his hair on his hand stood up. When I put this phrase right here, it gives me a clear vision in my mind and I can draw the picture so easily. But without having this word or phrase right here, then the sentence would be what? Would be ambiguous for me, and I would imagine several things not related to the story. Okay? So sometimes small words or phrases can make a big difference, and this is the reason why we have modifier. طيب, this is for the phrase. We said that it's a small sentence. I put it in the middle without commas, without anything. But there's also clause that can be as a modifier. What does it mean, clause? Clause is a sentence but comes between commas. The girl who you spoke to a minute ago is dead. We have here a comma and here a comma, and we have a sentence in the middle. The sentence in the middle, we call it a clause. And this is a modifier. Why? Because I can make the sentence like this. The girl is dead. I can make it like
so,
this.
Miss, when you say the girl is dead, what is this? Is a clause or a
No,
phrase?
I use it as this only, as the sentence only, the girl is dead. What will come to your mind, you will say, which girl? I have a lot of girls in my life. Maybe my friend,
Yeah.
my sister, my cousin. So which girl are you talking about? But when I put this
Who
clause in
use?
the middle, I said, the girl who you spoke to a minute ago is dead. Oh my God, that girl. You see how the changed the meaning and a
Yeah.
whole the picture came to your mind? Then the whole meaning is stronger and more effective. Why? Because I added more description. This is why I call this clause, I call it modifier. Because it gives me more info, more information. Understood, my girls?
Yeah, miss.
So the moment that you add more information, it means that you are putting a modifier and making your language more easier to the reader to understand it and to draw it as a picture in his mind. طيب, let's take this also example. When I say this paragraph, I'm writing a paragraph, but I'm adding so many descriptions so I can give you a picture in your mind. Poor Stephen, who just wanted a quick meal to get through his 3-hour biology lab, accidentally dropped his fork on the cafeteria floor, gasping with disgust as Tarantula wiggled out of his cheese omelette, a sight requiring a year of therapy before Stephen could eat eggs again. So right here, I have the word Stephen, and I have also the image that he's trying to eat an egg omelette as a meal before he continue his work. But the moment that he tried to eat it, he found a tarantula. This is a tarantula. It's a big spider. Comes out of that meal, and he dropped his fork, and he was so scared that he has to go for a year in therapy before he can eat eggs again. So all of this, if you read this story, what will come to your mind? Huh?
A big tarantula that wiggled.
Yes,
And,
the whole scene, it will come to your mind, right? You will imagine the whole scene.
Yeah.
But if I say that, if I say, for example, Stephen wanted to eat an omelet and he found a tarantula,
Then
will this be a nice and interesting story?
no.
No. So the more details I added, when I say, for example, he dropped his fork, yani he's so scared, and then accidentally, yani he didn't notice there will be a bug in there. And then after that, he gasped with disgust, like, ew, you will feel how he was disgusted. And then when I say tarantula wiggled, she's moving so fast, you will feel the fear in your heart. All of these things, it will give you more image.
This gasp in fear like that?
What?
Like or like something
Yes,
else.
gasping with disgust, like
Yeah.
exactly. So all of these words right here, my girls, we call them what? Modifiers. So the adjective, we call it modifier. The adverbs, we call it modifier. The prepositional phrase, we call it modifier. Adjective phrase, we call it modifier. So I want to tell you here from the paragraph, the word poor Stephen, poor here, modifier, because it will tell me about how the writer feels about him. Who just wanted a quick meal. This is describe about Stephen, why he is poor. And then he quickly got a meal. And then as tarantula wiggled of all of these things are what are examples of modifiers. And then we come to very important part in modifiers. We said that the modifiers usually in English, they come after the word they describe. يعني when I say, for example, Stephen dropped the fork on the floor. If I say, for example, Stephen dropped what? The fork. Where? On the floor. So the word here on the floor is a modifier. Where it comes after the verb على طول. يعني the fork on the floor. This is what, it comes after the noun. So I'm describing that he dropped the fork. Where he dropped it? On the floor. So usually the modifier comes after the word that he is describing after it. If he is describing a noun, then I will call it adjective modifier. If it's describing a noun. If it's describing a verb, then I will call it adverb modifier. Like what? He looks quickly to the car. Now he looks. How he looks? Quickly. The word quickly right here, it's describing what? Describing the verb. It comes after the verb على طول, so it's describing it. Since it comes after the verb and give me more information about it, how he looks so quickly. So it will give me what information, how he looks. So here I will call it adverb modifier. Why? Because it describes a verb. But here when I say he dropped the fork, where? On the floor. On the floor here, it describes a noun. So that's why I will call it adjective modifier. So usually the modifier comes immediately after the word that he's describing. When you do it in this way, it's correct. But sometimes the people got confused when they write and they don't put the modifier after the sentence, after the word على طول. If they do that and they misplaced and they put it in a different place, we call it misplaced modifier. What does it mean misplaced? يعني he put it in wrong place. If he put it in wrong place, then the whole meaning will be wrong and weird. Like what, طيب يا miss? I will show you like what. For example, you see these two pictures, okay? We have here some pictures of girls that are wearing a t-shirt and a short skirt, right? And then I want to say that the young girl was walking the dog in a short skirt. When you hear it the first time and say the young girl was walking the dog in a short skirt, does the dog wear a short skirt?
No.
Of course not. Why? Because the dog walks on four. So he can't wear a short skirt like this. So who is wearing the short skirt then?
The girl.
The girl. So since the girl who are wearing the short skirt, then I should put this sentence right here after the girls, not put it at the end. When I put the dog between them, now it becomes confusion in my mind. Like, does the dog wear the skirt? No, it's wrong. So this sentence is wrong. This is what we call it misplaced modifier. Because the writer,
So Miss, how we will correct
the writer should put the short skirt after the girl. But how to make it right? He should write it in this way. The young girl in a short skirt was
walking the dog.
The dog. Now it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Now it's correct. Why? Because I described the girl. Who kind of girl? She is the girl who's wearing the short skirt. What she was doing? She was walking the dog. Now it's correct. Why? Because I put the modifier, which is in a short skirt, after the girl. Why? Because aslan it was describing the girl. It wasn't describing the dog. Who's wearing the skirt? Girl. So the young girl in a short skirt was walking the dog. This is correct. The first one, it was wrong. You see how I fix it? طيب, let's go for another example. Let's say, for example, let's say, for example, the dog was chasing the boy with the spiked collar. The dog was chasing the boy. Now it's fine. With the spiked collar. This is the collar. The collar is like a lace that we put it around the neck of the dog. Okay? When I say spiked collar, يعني the one that like this has some spikes on it. Usually, who is wearing the collar? The dog or the boy? Who's wearing the collar?
Who's the dog?
The dog is wearing the collar. But when I put it in this way, the dog was chasing the boy with the spiked collar. What comes to my mind, like, is the boy is the one who's wearing the spiked collar? Because you put it here at the end after the boy. So it comes to my mind like, the boy is wearing spiked collar? Of course not. So now this sentence is wrong because he put the adjective about spike collar after the boy. But the boy doesn't wear a spike collar. I should put it after the dog. So طيب, how to fix it? This is what I call it misplaced modifier. This is wrong. Misplaced. So how to fix it طيب يا miss? I would say the dog with the spiked collar was chasing the boy. Now it makes sense, right? Because who's wearing the collar? The dog. So the dog with the spiked collar was it chasing the boy? Now it's correct. So this is how you fix it. You always put the sentence or the phrase that describe the thing على طول after it. Don't put anything in the middle between them. Because when you put something in the middle, then the whole meaning, it will be wrong. Understood?
Yeah, miss.
Okay, let's go ahead right now. Open your books, please, on the page 388 in the notes. So modifiers are words, phrases, or clause that describe and give you more information about sentence. If the word, if the modifier explain a noun, like the windmills on the hill were huge, here it describes the windmill, then we call it adjective modifier. If the word comes after the verb to describe the verb, then we call it adverb, like the horse galloped up the hill. Where he galloped up the hill. So here it describes how he galloped or where he galloped. So this is adverb. To avoid confusion, place modifiers close to the word they modify, like this one. We usually put it after the word they modify. If you put something in the middle between them, it will be misplaced modifiers, like this one. We read about a knight who battled against in class. This one doesn't make sense. We read about a knight who battled giants in a class. Does he have giants inside the class? No, of course not. But so what we doing inside the class? We read. So I have to put this modifier after the word read. So we read in a class about a knight who battled giants. Now this is correct. And this one is wrong. Only by changing the place. The last thing that you have to know, my girls, there is a modifier, it's called only. Now this only, I want you to memorize it very well. Why? Because only have exception of other modifiers. Only, every time you change the place of it, the meaning of the sentence will be changed. So you have to be so careful when you use it. How, طيب يا miss? Usually when you put it at the beginning, it will give you a meaning of there's no one but you. Like, for example, only he saw giants. Like when you put it here at the beginning, then you would know that the only person who saw the giants was that person and nobody else. So when you put it at the beginning, it means nobody. But again, if you use the same sentence and you put only in a different place, it will give you different meaning. He only saw giants, which means here when I put it after the word he, it means that he didn't do anything except see. Seeing what? Seeing the giants. He only saw giants. Yani he didn't work, he didn't eat, he didn't sleep. He just saw the giants. So here it will give you except the meaning in here. Number 3, he saw only giants, which means that the only thing that he saw were giants. He didn't see dragons or he didn't see falcons or any type of other things, only saw giants. So every time you change the place of it, every time it will give you a different meaning. That's why we have to be so careful with the word only when we use it. طيب, let's go for the questions right here. Can you read the question, Mateen, please?
Yeah, miss. Write adverb, adjective, or prepositional phrase to identify each underlying modifier Write adjective or adverb to identify how a prepositional phrase is used.
Okay, so let's understand the question. The question said, read the sentence and then see the underlined word right here. Tell me if it was adjective or adverb or a prepositional phrase. Okay, read number 1, Yawatin.
Okay, the square road behind night.
So the square road behind the night. Now this is the verb road, and we have the phrase comes after the verb. So what we call this phrase, adverb or adjective? The one that describes the verb, what we call it, adverb or adjective?
Adjective.
Adjective describe nouns. So it is adverbs. Adverbs. طيب, what kind of adverbs? It's prepositional phrase. This is the kind of it. Why? Because we have the word behind. You have on, above, behind, in front. It means that all the phrase after it we call it prepositional phrase. If it was describe a verb, then I will call it adverb. If it was describe a noun, then adjective. Number 2, ya Malak.
Okay, Miss. John Quicksilver wore pieces of rusty armor.
So the word rusty right here. Don wore pieces of rusty armor. He wore what? Pieces. Pieces of what?
Pieces.
Rusty armor. So
Armor.
rusty here it describes what? The armor. So is it adverb or adjective?
Adjective.
Adjective, excellent, because it describes a noun. Very good. Number 3, Ghalia. Ghalia, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, Miss. Bravely he battled the windmills.
So bravely he battled the windmills. He battled the windmills. How? Bravely. So bravely here, it described how he did it, how he battled. So it described the verb. So what I call it, adverb or adjective?
Adverb.
Adverb, excellent, my girl. Why? Because it describes a verb. Number 4, Lean. Are you there, Lean?
Yeah.
Okay. Read number 4, please.
Okay. The lady in his dream was named
Dolcina. Okay. The lady in his dream was named Dolcina. So in his dream right here, what is it? Adverb or adjective?
Adverb.
Adverb, excellent. Why? Because it describes the woman. Where is the woman? Where? The woman in his dream. So here it describes where. So that's why I will call it adverb. And then what kind of adverb? Since it has a preposition, I will call it prepositional phrase. Again. Right, let's go for next one. Hi, Watin, number 5. Read the question, please.
Okay. Each sentence has a misplaced modifier. Rewrite the sentence and put the word of phrase where it belongs. I sat and thought about nights in the kitchen.
Each sentence has a misplaced modifier. Now we want to fix it, okay? I sat and thought about nights in the kitchen. Are the nights in the kitchen?
No.
So how I would do it?
I can say I sat in the kitchen and thought about nights.
Ya salam alayki, excellent job. I sat in the kitchen and thought about nights. Excellent job. Number 6 يا ملاك.
Okay. Don quit thought only wanted Dulcinea, no one else. We can say Don
When I say Don execute only wanted Dulcina, no one else. And I said at the end, no one else. When I say no one else, يعني he only want Dulcina, right? But here I said that Don Quinsict only wanted Dulcina. يعني this is the only thing that he wants from life, Dulcina, or the only person. يعني does he only want Dulcina and he doesn't want to eat, he doesn't want to go any place, he doesn't go to the bathroom, he doesn't want to drink, to sleep, he only want Dulcina? This is the only thing he wants in life, or he has to do other things? Malak.
He only wanted Dulcina.
No, I'm asking you here. In this sentence right here, when he said Don execute only wanted Dulcinea, no one else. Here, when I put only here, it means that the only thing he wants in life is Dulcinea. He doesn't want to eat, drink, sleep, nothing. Is this true?
Yes.
No, it's not true. Why? Because he needs also something else. He needs to sleep, to eat, to go outside. But the only person he needs is Dulcina. So the place of only here is wrong. I have to change it. To make it correct, I have to put it immediately before Dulcina. يعني I don't have to put it before the verb. I have to put it before the name of the person that you want. He wants only one person. Who is this person? Dulcina. So put only before Dulcina. How would it be? Don Quinsict Quixote حتى wanted only Dulcinea.
Miss, can you pronounce this?
Huh?
This word.
What?
This word, Miss, can you pronounce it?
Just a minute. Just a minute. Quixote. Don Quixote wanted only Dulcinea, no one else. This is how you do it. Quixote, ya Watin. Don Quixote.
Okay, thank you.
Those are Spanish people. When you finish, tell me, okay?
Okay, Miss. I'm done, Miss.
Great. Malak and Lean.
I'm done.
It's great.
Done.
Okay, my girls. That's great. I will see you inshallah tomorrow.
Miss,